riddance.
This is 7 Dooms for Sandpoint. Chapter 5, Shadows at Midnight, Episode 60. Get the right track here. Natalin. Everything has gone to slow motion. Behind you, Sandpoint burns. Orange flames slowly reach for the sky. Billowing pillars of black smoke merge with shadows. And embers fill the sky and the air around you, almost looking like a myriad dying stars in the sky above you. You blink, and in that time, it almost feels like minutes go by. You see the Sandpoint Devil closing in on you, and you don't have time to do anything. You've already made your attempts to hurt it, and it has targeted you. There's a sharp flash of pain as the Sandpoint Devil bites down across your shoulder and your neck, and you feel for sure that it is about to rip you in half. You barely have a chance to adjust to the pain of the Sandpoint Devil's bite before a new wave of pain rushes in as it drives you full force into the ground. At the edges of your vision, darkness is creeping in. The Sandpoint Devil raises its head to howl. Blood, your blood, dripping, cascading from its open mouth, falling across your body. And as your vision starts to go dark, you catch a glimpse of what might in any other situation almost seem whimsical. As you see a baguette flying through the air. But it strikes the Sandpoint Devil with a ferocity that could only have come from Millie's enchanted force barrage, as baguette after baguette go flying into this creature, ripping holes in its wings and tearing through its hide, smashing bones. And suddenly you feel the tremendous crash as the Sandpoint Devil collapses to the ground next to you, disturbingly close to you. You catch a glimpse, glowing in the firelight, orange light flickering off of her many pearlescent scales, Lumi. Turning your head slightly, you see much further away, backlit by the fires of Sandpoint, Millie and Icselo. You can't help but notice, as your eyes close against your will, you don't know where Velynia is. In these moments that have slowed down, where each passing second seems like minutes, what's going through Natalin's head right now? What's going through her mind?
I think there's a moment of actual relief
when she sees the Sandpoint Devil fall next to her, because her last, like, as he's biting down, she's like, this can't be the way it ends. He's got to die. I can't let these can't let my friends down. And so when he falls, I think at that moment she's just relieved that at least they'll be safe. And so she has no regrets at this moment.
Now, from a mechanical point of view, as we can see from the overlay, you are at dying 3.
Yep.
It was a critical hit that took you to unconscious, and then because you were slammed into the ground after that by the Sandpoint Devil, you took another level of dying. As of the death of the Sandpoint Devil, we are technically out of initiative order. But your friends still have some ground to cover before they can get to you. Lumi is the closest. And seeing Natalin, of course, I'll leave this entirely up to you, not putting actions, in your queue here. But as you look over and see Natalin lying on the ground bleeding out as the Sandpoint Devil falls, you can go ahead and tell us what your intention is, and I will tell you that what you will have to do depending on what you're going to attempt to do.
I think Lumi would look and see that Natalin is not standing and would make a mad dash for her to see how injured she is.
You're running, everything's still seeming to move in slow motion, embers flying around. The Sandpoint Devil still, the body not fully even collapsed on the ground. It seems like it's still settling in with the massive weight of its body as you are immediately taking off running. I am going to need you to make a flat check. So you're going to roll a d20.
D20.
And this roll will determine whether or not you can get to Natalin before she has to make that recovery check. I will tell you as you prepare to roll.
Okay.
This is one of those checks where I'm not going to tell you the DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not tell you whether or not you've spent enough domain dice if you need to.
Well, I've rolled it in the Albert Rodeo for us.
Of course, I don't have it open, so I didn't see that.
It was a D20 that you asked for.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a 20 that I got on the roll.
Shut the fuck up!
Let's
Proof's
go!
in the pudding. You can see it in the owlbear.
It's destiny! It's destiny! Take a screenshot. Somebody who has it open.
I'm getting a screenshot right now.
Dude.
Oh, they don't persist. They don't persist for us because we didn't roll it. But
well, I'm posting it in our little group.
I mean, I believe you. I believe you 100%.
Yeah,
we all believe you, but I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to frame that fucker.
So then you have full narrative control, and you are free to do whatever actions as time begins to speed up a bit. As you sprint towards Natalin, take us through what happens.
A clarifying question. What was the injury that downed Natalin? Was it a claw attack? Was it like a chomp?
It was a bite
attack?
across her shoulder and neck. It was massive. It was critical,
Gotcha.
and it took 50 some points of damage.
Yeah. Okay. So Lumi dashes through the streets. She's like, no, Natalin, no, Natalin, no. As she runs up, She screeches to a halt, her paws like skidding in like the gravel of the street, of the causeway. She drops down to her knees in front of Natalin. She clutches Natalin, the sides of her head, her neck. She's like peeling back some of the fabric of her armor to see what's happened. She's like, no, Natalin, you're gonna be all right. And seeing that Natalin's unconscious from this, she's rummaging through, and she pulls open her bag. She pulls it. I think she probably just like dumps it, her whole bag onto the ground, the gravel. Rummages through, finds that medicine kit that she has, her first aid kit. She opens it up. She unwinds some of the fabric and bandages we have. She's got like one of her claws pushed up against her shoulder, seeing the sanguine wetness that it is. No, you're going to be okay. And she's going to just first responder, first aid treatment right here.
Are you going to use your battlefield medicine?
Yeah.
Because if you were, I'll be honest, if you attempt to do a full treat wounds, which takes 10 minutes, given her condition, she might have to make that check before the full effect.
She's doing immediate stabilization here with battlefield medicine. Absolutely.
So
There's
that's
only
gonna.
one action, I believe.
So you're gonna roll. I believe you're an expert in that.
I am an expert. Yeah.
So you can choose to roll at a higher DC to get more HP, but at a minimum you'll roll a DC 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the smallest DC because I only need to give her a few hit points, I believe, to stabilize, if I remember the rules correctly.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, because there's no negative hit points.
Vi always remembers the rules correctly. Thank God.
That is an overstatement. Treat wounds has DC.
So it's a medicine check at a DC 15.
DC usually 15. I can do 20 or even higher. Yeah, I'm just gonna do 15.
You can do up to 20 because you're expert. You can't do higher until you get higher trained levels.
Yeah, right now it's just most important. I need to get her stabilized. I'm just gonna go for the DC 15, and I basically almost guarantee success here. I'm gonna roll my roll here. 12 on the die plus 13 is 25. That's a critical success on the DC 15.
She feels great.
Okay, so then
Which
I believe it's 4d8, and because it's critical, it will clear the wounded condition that she would otherwise gain.
Ooh, nice.
1, 2, 3,
Normally,
4.
battlefield medicine won't clear.
Okay,
Oh no! Wait, no,
okay.
sorry. Actually, I don't. I think battlefield medicine. I think it specifies that it doesn't clear.
Let me look back at battlefield medicine again. Battle medicine. This doesn't remove the wound condition, no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she'll still have the wounded condition, but you're able to.
That is going to be 21 hit points that I recover for you. 21.
All right. So what that means from a
With immediate field dressing here. Not field dressing. You're not a prey. Wound dressing.
1, 2. Why is that not showing up? I gotta find the right. Trying to find the right. I think my overlay controls are messed up. Hold on. Okay. So it's not you. It should be you. Ugh. Okay. Here we go. So you no longer have the dying condition, Natalin.
Nice. Yay!
You are wounded 1, which does mean that if you were to go unconscious again, that number is added immediately. You immediately become 1 extra level of dying. Natalin has the healing. You are able to expertly apply the necessary battlefield treatments dressing the wound, stopping the bleeding, and you do heal Natalin, but Natalin is not waking up.
Mm-hmm.
She is still unconscious.
Yeah, I think that Lumi just would continue just kneeling next to her and seeing like that she's stabilized, probably like collapse back on her butt and just like lean back, watching over Natalin, but otherwise just keeping her company. I don't think that she'd do much else until like someone would come up to her or something happens to Lumi. Otherwise, she's probably just crouching over her.
During this point, enough time has passed that, I mean, by enough time, I mean it's literally moments. But Icselo and Millie you would be able to close the distance to them if you wish.
And we arrive and see that Natalin is stable. Conscious? Regaining consciousness or no?
Her wounds are dressed, though she looks a mess, but she is not showing any signs of waking up.
Millie will sit on the other side of her that Lumi is and do the motherly pat. Natalin, are you all Natalin?
No,
Natalin,
coma.
Natalin, you hear faintly. You hear somebody calling your name. You hear Natalin. Natalin. Where did that girl get off to? You hear your mother calling your voice. Jilla.
I'm coming, Mom.
As you say that, there's a sort of a whooshing sound of fabric, and it's a transition of Jilla flipping out a sheet from the basket as she's preparing to hang it on the laundry. And she turns towards your voice, toward the homestead. And she looks at you and she gives you kind of a look of concern, but where she's holding back, saying something. And you realize, Natalin, you are standing in the door of your homestead from your childhood, looking at your mother in the midst of hanging laundry out to dry. And you are standing there in your blood-soaked armor. And she seems as if she's acknowledging this. Well, what'd you go and get yourself into this time?
Remember the stories you used to tell me of the Sandpoint devil?
Yeah, of course. I would do just about anything to get you to eat your dinner or go to sleep or obey.
I think Natalie, and even though she's kind of bloody, I don't think she realizes how bloody she is, but she reaches for the laundry that her mom is putting up and goes to help her, and she just kind of casually says, well, just fought it.
It looks like it might have got the best of you.
Maybe, but I think we got the best of it.
Your father would be proud.
Is he here too?
Well, you know your father. He's... And she kind of motions with her head, and she's motioning towards the sea. And you can see about a half mile off the shore a small fishing boat. And even at this distance, you can see what kind of looks like your father with a line in the water, nets cast. You see the cork bobbers, cork floats, but you can also see his bare feet up on the gunwale. As he is more often than not reclined all the way back with his feet up, sleeping out on the motion of the sea.
Has the catch been good this year?
She looks down, and you see that the way you've always remembered your mom, healthily plump. And she said, "Oh, I may have had to let out my dress a bit because we've been eating quite well." Should we plan on having you stay with us for a while?
I mean, if you don't mind, I miss your apple treacle.
She finishes hanging another sheet up on the line, and she looks towards the house, and she inhales and says, "Still warm, I gather," as she motions to the windowsill where you see dessert cooling on the windowsill. Listen, Natalin. You know, your father and I would absolutely love to have you join us here. But only if you want to stay. Are you sure that you're done out there?
I think it's at this point that Natalin realizes what's really happening here. I think at that moment, maybe the pain of, let's say, like Lumi binding her wound or whatever, kind of grounds her again. She feels this pain, and I think when she looks back at her mom, there's like she kind of falters and groans and kind of cries out in that pain.
She automatically reaches out to steady you, and she takes the sheet or bedclothes or whatever that you had in your hand to help her. And you see that it's already, when you took hold of it, it was covered in your blood. And she just says, "It looks like you're bleeding a little, dear." And she reaches up and kind of holds it against your neck. You smell burning wood, ash.
Is dinner burning? Mom. And I think she goes to maybe touch her mom at this point, and like she goes to reach for her, it's like reach for that hand that's on her neck, and maybe it's not nearly as solid as it appeared to be.
She looks sadly where you tried to touch her hand and your hand passes through. She smiles at you. Don't worry, baby. When you're ready, home will be waiting. The apple treacle will still be warm.
No, Mom, don't go.
I'm not going anywhere. I think you are. I think you've made your choice.
Mom! I think Natalin kind of desperately is reaching for her mother as things start to fade.
And I think Lumi, Millie, and Icselo, that's the first movement they see from you, is as you call weakly, you call out Mom, and you start to reach up, and your hand does close on a hand on your neck, and you find Lumi's hand. Mm-hmm. As you struggle and regain consciousness.
Shh. Don't move. Don't move. Everything's safe now, okay? You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. As you feel the gentle, scaled hand on your shoulder, on your cheek. She's still cradling you.
You feel Natalin's...
Don't move.
Yeah. You feel Natalin's hand kind of rest on yours for a little bit before the strength kind of leaves her limb and it goes limp again. But you do see, because you're so close there, that there are tears falling out of her eyes. But she's closed them again. Yeah.
Lumi looks up to you, Millie, because you're thinking, can you get a water skin?
Of course.
She needs some water.
Millie holds out 2 different items and says, water, booze. Don't mix them up.
And then with her free hand, Lumi grabs the water skin.
But she needs both.
She definitely needs both. It's been a hell of a night.
As a reminder, you are literally right outside what would essentially be the rectory or the parsonage of the Sandpoint Cathedral, like literally outside of where you and Father.
North.
Yeah, this
okay,
happened.
So we've been in the sun the whole
literally
time, so
outside the
Lily's
building.
fine because she's a lizard, so
Yeah.
she's okay to sunbask. But
Call back. Millie does the thing where she turns to the freaking onlookers and goes, "You and you, go get Father Xantus."
First step of the CPR process. Nice. You delegate, go get the AED.
Delegate.
So there's actually not any onlookers because Sandpoint is still burning behind you.
Everyone's
People
dead.
are already dealing with buildings that are on fire.
Millie turns to talk to onlookers and there are none. She goes,
Oh.
"Fuck.
Damn it.
I'm going to go get Father Xantus.
Yes.
You stay
Icselo.
with Natalin."
Carry her inside, Icselo. I'm not there. I'm sorry.
Or
Lumi's gonna cradle Madeline's head. Okay, I'm gonna get you some water. Okay, you need to drink some water. As with her other hand brings the water skin up to your lips. I'm gonna prop your neck up a bit upright so you can take a little bit of a swig. I don't want you to move too much in case you really, really heard something. How are you feeling?
I think she first gags a little bit on the water when you first pour it in, and she wasn't expecting it, and it kind of gags and spits it out. And then the second time you try, she does swallow a little bit. Before you can kind of feel her body kind of relax and go limp in your arms again as she just. You can tell she's kind of like exhausted. Like this is a tough thing. Plus, I think she's still sickened, so she's not feeling
Jake,
well.
Can you do us a favor and take unconscious off of Natalin?
Yes!
Semi-conscious.
Ceremonial, if nothing else. She is very unconscious right now.
Just a note on that. You will have the wounded one condition until either you rest and get to... You have to be restored to full hit points and rest for, I think, 10 minutes. Or somebody performs a full treat wounds on you.
Yeah.
Also, just as a note, I think you know this, Lumi, but for the next 24 hours, I believe, you cannot perform battlefield medicine on Natalin.
Untrue, because I have a feat for that.
Oh, you have a feat for that. Okay.
She has a feat for that.
Base level, you cannot. If you use battlefield
God.
medicine, you can
I
only
took
do
a
it.
feat to make it every 10
We
minutes.
just saw like
Okay,
a
perfect.
Dragon Ball Z battle of knowing the rules.
No, see, I'm
Twang,
growing stronger.
twang,
I'm growing
actually.
stronger in my knowledge of the Pathfinder rules, but Vi still
Actually, no. I have a
still
feat.
Still one
outsmarts
step
me at every
ahead.
turn.
Yeah.
So, as you are tending to Natalin, I think just before I switch scenes here, and Millie seems to be right there. Icselo, I assume you ran over with Millie, or did you go off somewhere else?
I would have ran over with Millie.
So you are very much aware, Icselo, that buildings, you see that several fires have sprung up or spread or continued to burn. And you do see that, especially with the proximity to the garrison, that there are a couple of fire brigades that have been formed. The nice thing about Sandpoint being located where it is, in just about any direction, you can form a decent fire brigade and pull water from the river or from the sea. And people are tending to the fires. The closest fire that you all can see is that Sava's armory is engulfed in flames in the buildings near it. And Sava has run off from you and your group, Lumi, and is at the forefront of this fire brigade that's tending to her burning building. And there are still cries of various people running to and fro, but you see that members of the town watch and even just regular citizens are leading people out away from the thick smoke of the burning buildings. And there are a few throngs of people that they don't know where else to go. So there are large groups of people showing up to the Sandpoint Cathedral. The building's big enough that it can house most of the town. It would get quite crowded, but it's not the entire town, but there's, just segments of it that are on fire.
Jacob, I'd like to retcon.
What?
Millie, seeing that Lumi's got everything mostly under control, is going to go grab the nearest acolyte because we're near the frickin' cathedral, and just grab them briefly by the robe and say, "Go get Father Xantus! Bring him out here!" And then let him
some
go.
like teenage kid.
And then Millie's actually going to go out to see what she can do to help with the fires, because I actually have a water-based cantrip.
Okay. So the closest fire is literally 300 feet away from you. Sava's armory and the adjoining buildings are engulfed in flames.
Yeah, so That's where I'll be.
Okay. So, as you grab this acolyte, shout this, and then go running off, the acolyte just kind of looks. But as you run off, and you don't hear them as they just go, but he's not here. We're going to transition to Velynia. You are lying in a bed. You can feel the comfort of a mattress. Your head lays on a pillow. You can see the dim light of a oil lamp burning nearby. And though it is very painful to do so and makes your head swim, looking towards this light, and everything seems to move with like this sort of tracers. You kind of turn towards the light and you see on the table next to the bed is your shadow dagger. And it is completely red with blood, the entire blade all the way to the hilt. And you have a flash as you see it, remembering Sarah Lumen driving this knife into your heart. And then another flash of Sarah Lumen's throat being slit. And finally a third flash of Lala saying to you, "This is going to hurt," and ripping the knife out of your heart. As that last flash happens, you realize a couple of things. One, somebody has done a really hasty job of bandaging you. And based on how you feel, and the fact that, though technically this isn't persistent bleeding, your wound still, like, the bandages are bleeding through. You get the sense that not a whole lot of time has passed. Like, you can't tell if it's minutes or hours, but I would like you, before you do or anything else or tell us what you're doing, I would like you to make me a perception check.
Oh boy. Okay. 25.
You don't know why, but not terribly far away, though it does sound distant. You swear you can hear the sounds of screaming voices, distant cries for help, sounds of activity, and then you hear a voice that still seems distant but closer than the others. That sounds familiar as you hear, "You! No, you! Go get Father Xantus and bring him here!" As you hear Millie's voice.
The benefits of being shrill.
Yeah.
And
it's a feat.
as you tell us what you do, I will give you this final piece of information. You realize you are lying in the room you have recently taken up residence in the Sandpoint Cathedral.
She get me here. Really? Okay. Holy shit. I think Velynia tries to reconnoiter a little bit, and I think she takes a second figuring out what you just said to Cari. And then I think she blinks hard, and then she I think she tries to sit up once, but that pain in her chest is too much, and she has to like lay back down for just a second, and then she really looks, and it's again very hasty, very poorly done bandaging. I would say probably like the top, like the chest piece of her armor is off, kind of cast aside haphazardly. It's just like laying in a corner, and she's like just like wrapped 100 times around her chest. And I think Velynia like touches it just to see if it's like wet. Assuming it's not like actively bleeding, she sits up and she just wants to see if it's healed enough for her to get up and around. And
so
assuming it is,
you will
get up.
As you stand up, I'll need a fortitude saving throw.
Okay. Ugh. 18. Entirely enough. I've used entirely enough, Tamiko. I'm not in danger of dying. Everything's fine.
You barely manage to keep your feet underneath you. You succeeded. Basically, you are at 1 hit point. You do not have any specific condition right now. Although I'm only going to do this for a second because I got to make sure it's set properly. 1, 2, you're 3. Don't freak out. Stupid thing. You are currently, I just wanted to make sure it was set.
That's a lot for me. I used more than 5. I used like 7 during my little one shot there.
Okay. There we go.
Too many.
You are also at wounded 1.
Wounded. Okay.
So you don't have any conditions, but I may occasionally, depending on what you're doing, if you try to do anything too quickly or too much, you run the risk of, well, you'll have to make a fortitude save, and if you fail, you will become drained.
I think Velynia is like hearing the sounds of the people outside. I think she's just kind of mechanically almost like getting up out of bed. Like you said, I think she kind of stumbles a little bit, but just like kind of tries to like shake it off. Grabs like her chest piece, puts it on like halfway, and then kind of like looks back at that dagger that's sitting on the side table. And freezes for a second, looking at it and remembering. And I think she does go over and like take it and hold it in her hand. And then she just kind of like tries, like shakes her head again, and then like wipes the blood on her leg and puts it back in its scabbard. And then she kind of, as she's leaving the room, she's like finishing putting on her armor, and I imagine there's like a shot of like down the hallway, like Velynia almost like stumbling out of her room against the like adjacent wall as she's like doing up the belts and like trying to make her way out to where she heard Millie's voice.
From the moment you pick up that knife and you clean it off, as soon as you pick up the knife, you hear an echoed voice. Bring me your knife.
Wow.
And as you start to clean it off, you hear Sarah Lumen's voice again. So, this is what they gave you. The reward. A token. A participation trophy.
Man.
And then as you are kind of readjusting everything and preparing the move again, the voice is a little fainter as you hear, "They handed a frightened child another blade. They looked upon what they had forced you to become, and they called it a success. Success.
Shit. I hate that. Velynia's struggling. I think like in these moments that she's hearing this, I want to say like that echoing success is where she kind of like stumbles out of her room against that nearby wall, and then just it takes every ounce of willpower she has to just put one foot in front of the other and get out to where again, where she heard Millie's voice. She's very, very hurt. She's more hurt than she's ever been, and frankly, like, she will never admit it, of course, to anybody else, but she was very, very sure tonight that she was going to die. And that has flipped a switch in Velynia. And the whole, like, theme of cowardice is coming up. And maybe she is, because she has never been more scared than she is right in this moment. But she's kind of like almost as a safe place. Again, Millie's voice is that safety, and she needs to get to it. She's driven to get there.
Ironically, as you stagger through these rooms, partially remembering, because you haven't been staying at the cathedral very long. It was not very long ago that Vashti's place was burned.
Left, right, left, up the stairs. Not the first set of stairs, the second set of stairs.
Not even that complicated.
Okay.
As you just moving through and walking past other closed or open doors, and then you see a door that leads outside. And you stagger out into the night. A night that is glowing orange with flames. And you see, literally outside this door, not Millie, but you see Lumi cradling a very bloodied and very bandaged Natalin, who seems to be unconscious. And you see Icselo looking towards, kind of with his back towards you, looking towards the rest of town, where you see Millie just dashing off into the distance, doing whatever she's doing to tend to fires. But it's literally like you just walked out on the back porch and there they are. But it's a street, not the porch. So front porch.
The front street.
Front stoop.
Of course, yes, the stoop. I think Velynia, I think she tries to run a couple of steps, and all of a sudden her vision just spins.
Make a fortitude save.
19.
You barely hold consciousness.
As she decides she's just going to walk quickly over to them.
As Lumi spots the door opening up, because you're literally right there, tell us what Lumi sees. What is the state of Velynia as she appears to Lumi?
Velynia really does think she did a decent job of, like, covering up the bandages and covering up how hurt she is, and she did not do a very good job. I think her armor is mussed. Her hair is not done, like, not crisp like it usually is. You have very seldom seen Velynia look anything but put together. Even in, like, battle after, like, our big fights in the pit, like, she looks, at the very least, emotionally composed. She has that kind of aura.
She's also extremely pale. Paler than usual.
100%. Yeah, right. Hashtag
I remember the last time that I saw Velynia. Because it was before the festival night, right? Because we kind of coordinated before the
yes.
festival
The
about
last
we hung
going
out.
around. So
Yeah.
it's barely been like a day.
Tamiko, when
Yeah,
was the
yeah,
last
yeah.
time, keeper of
the
the notes?
last time Lumi and Velynia saw each other was when we were enjoying funnel cakes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you two were looking at posters trying to figure out when Sarah's show was going to be.
So literally just a few
Was
hours
that the day
ago.
before the festival? The day of the
Nope.
festival?
That was earlier today.
That
right?
was wait.
Yeah, okay.
That was
All right, I'm
that
sorry.
was earlier. That was earlier today. So technically, it was the dinner. The dinner was last time.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
you
so
were
I
all
think-
done
I
up
think
for your
seeing-
date.
That's right. Yeah, so I think Lumi seeing Velynia like injured but standing, alive, put together, composed. I think that she's not going to really pay too much attention to your state, other than grateful the fact that you're alive. And she'll like kind of out of the corner of her eye, she'll can see you and like, oh, Velynia, how's everything? Like, what's going on in the rest of town? What's the damage?
It's bad. It's chaos. How can I help? What is Natalin okay?
She's going to be okay.
How can I help?
Is
Seems
is-
like you
is-
could probably
is
help by
father-
sitting down.
I look over at Icselo and I think there is there's a look in Velynia's eyes that just tells Icselo, like, I'm fine, drop it. She does not want attention to be drawn to herself right now. How can I help?
Does father need me?
I haven't seen him.
Is he tending to the others that are injured? Are there lots?
I'm sure he is. I haven't seen him.
Okay.
But it looks like we need to tend to her.
She's
Icselo,
gonna be okay. Natalin, as I pat you on the cheek to maybe rouse you a little bit from whatever like slumber or half awake conscious state you're in.
I think she kind of would groan and kind of
Do you,
look at you.
do you think you can stand? How can you wiggle your toes for me?
I can try.
Just wiggle your toes. That's all I ask. Can you lift your leg?
I think she can lift her leg. She kind of at this point she's trying to get up, so she's trying to move her legs in so that she can, like center of gravity, kind of pull herself up. So she does kind of bend her knees and scrape
Oh,
her across the
good.
ground.
Take it easy, and Luma's gonna like get up on like a knee and like begin to hold you. She weighs like what 40 pounds or something. She can't really do a counterweight very well for you. And maybe Lumi will look up to you, Velynia, with knowing eyes of like, hey, can you help me?
Yeah,
Get
I do.
Natalin up off the ground. As I'll like hoist you up onto your feet and see if you can balance.
Velynia, I need you to make a fortitude save as you try to lift Natalin.
I also want to say I think some of this movement is going to cause me to I maybe make it up partially, but I'm going to get sick at some point because I am not feeling well.
Yeah, I think you have to make a flat check to see if you can successfully
or just empty the stomach contents.
which you can do, but in order to alleviate the sickened condition, you have to pass a DC to see if the sickened condition actually goes away.
Got a dirty 20 on my fortitude save.
It is just a flat. You got a what?
Dirty 20.
Okay, you're good. You've passed 3 in a row, so you do not have to make fortitude saves anymore.
Yay!
I'm not going to make you do it every time you move, but it was kind of like if you fail 3 times or pass 3 times, then there was going to be a result. So.
Yay. Ooh, yay! No throwing up.
Or all of the throwing up, and then I feel fine.
All at once. True.
Yeah, since we're not in combat, I'm just going to say that you are able to retch, as the language is in the description. We won't go into it anymore. But you are no longer sickened too. or sickened 1. You're able to alleviate the sickened condition altogether. So I would like to just see how I went through every name and still missed for a moment Millie. I couldn't figure out the name, and I wasn't going to say a name out loud and give you guys a free bingo square for mixing up names.
Not in this game.
Millie, what are you doing?
Talking about?
Millie, what are you doing to assist with the firekeeping?
Millie is over by the, what did you say it was again?
Sava's Armory?
Sava's Armory. Millie is over by Sava's Armory since that was the closest, and she is, she's just got her hands out and she's just breathing and continual casting, Rousing Splash.
Ooh, nice. Very creative use of Rousing Splash.
I heard that as Rousing Flash, and I was wondering how flashing was helping the fire. Rousing Splash or Rousing Flash?
It's basically just a shower of cold water. Like, she'll hit the wounded, if there's wounded or whatever, first, because it gives 4d4 temporary hit points. But yeah, it's water. She's doing what she can with water.
So, how long are you going to keep this up for? Because this is the equivalent of throwing a cup of water continuously. You can do it. It's a cantrip, so you can keep doing it.
100 times, 1,000 times.
I just mean, are you going to keep...
Until she exhausts herself, like, or until Sandpoint's no longer on fire.
So your plan is to help all over town? So...
Go where she's needed.
Like, what I will say...
What am I going to do? Just call it a day and go to the Rusty Dragon? Like...
So here's what I would like.
Cheese plate time.
There are several locations that have caught fire and have various states of condition. I would like you I'm gonna say for each successive building, the DC is going to go up. So let me find it. If you succeed, you will change, because I had you guys pre-roll to determine the state. You don't know what buildings exactly, but your efforts will move the condition of the building that was rolled.
Oh, nice.
1 degree upward. So for Sava's Armory, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, because you are using... Do you have like a spellcasting modifier that normally goes into your spells?
No, what is it? I'm either DC 15 or attack plus 15.
Okay, so we'll do it this way. Go ahead and make a spellcasting check. So you're just gonna you're gonna roll a d20 and add your spellcasting attack modifier.
Okay. Somebody help me. 18 plus 25 or
that
15.
43.
18 plus 15
is 33.
33.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is a critical success on Sava's Armory. So you are able to prevent Sava's Armory from burning to the ground, which is what was rolled, to... where did my note card go? Instead of burning to the ground, it is now salvageable. You moved it 2 degrees.
Nice. Wow. Hell yeah.
Moving through town, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to take a few hours of work. So you're going to be occupied doing this. But the Carpenters Guild down Festival Street.
A place full of wood on fire.
Yep.
Damn it all. The Carpenters Guild of all places. Couldn't have been the Masons
It is
Guild.
now a higher DC.
All right. Die to reroll. It's too low.
It took me a second. I'm like, what do you mean die to reroll?
1 die to reroll. 13. 28.
All right. Whoops. Cancel. Hold on. I'm missing a. Where did it go? Oh, there we go.
Hey, while Jake finds what he's looking for, why don't you check us out on redbubble.com. At redbubble.com, we got all kinds of great shirts like the one I'm wearing and so many others. You can get our logos on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, mugs, stickers, postcards, puzzles. There's almost always a deal at redbubble.com, especially if it's your first time shopping. So check us out today at redbubble.com. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
Go get shit.
Go get shit. There's a deal right now. Back to school.
So your efforts at the Carpenters Guild, which also happens to be closer to the Tarandarak River. So there is these next locations are benefiting from quicker actions from the bucket brigades. You are going to move the Carpenters Guild from ruined to salvageable. Across the street,
All right.
the Sandpoint Theater is engulfed in flames, as are the buildings next to it, one of which is whatever was left of Mvashti's place. There's no saving that. It's burned to the ground. But you can save the Sandpoint Theater, and this would also be a check for the building next door to it, which is the a laundry.
It's below 10. Let it ride or re-roll.
The total's below 10? You mean, or you rolled below 10?
I rolled below 10. I can't get below 10.
Re-roll,
I'm a
re-roll,
+15.
Tamiko. Re-roll. You'll feel better about it. Re-roll.
All right. I do feel better about this. 15, 30.
30 is the DC. The Sandpoint Theater is no longer ruined. It is also salvageable.
There's a dead body in there.
The dead body in there.
The 2 remaining locations are right next to each other. The Sandpoint Market and Grocer's Hall. So this will be for Grocer's Hall. These are 2 separate checks. Grocer's Hall, which is a building that houses a lot of... It's basically like a farmer's market in a building.
Okay, that's a 25.
So I will tell you this. The DC
Re-roll
goes
it.
up. The DC goes up with every location, and you had a DC 30 and saved the theater.
Re-rolling. Now, y'all.
What did you end up rolling?
18 or 18, 28.
Okay, because I'm also looking if you critically fail. Not if you fail, but if you critically fail, it's going to move it the other direction.
Yeah, 28.
So the Grocer's Hall, you are able to help put out the flames, and it was already at and will remain at salvageable.
Oh.
The last place is several stalls in the market have caught fire. It looks like it spread from the Grocer's Hall. This is the highest DC because it's the last fire, and because it's literally a whole bunch of stalls and merchandise. The 27 is a critical fail. It can't
Is
get...
a critical fail?
Which
That's-
basically what
wow.
this means, I mean,
I had a good run.
it's an
Yeah,
open
you know
market.
what? You did a great job.
It's an open market. It was ruined with a percentage of the stalls and wares burned. Every market stall in this place burned to the ground. Complete loss of wares.
I can
and
throw
livelihood.
some cheddar at the Trennels if they need it.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
think we all
part
have
of
a
the
little
problem
donation.
you quickly found out was that there were people that were selling alchemical supplies. There were people that were selling alcohol, a lot of very flammable stuff that there was just no saving it. Weapons. In fact, there's a stall that earlier in the night, Lumi and Sava were... Lumi, I think, met up with Sava where she was looking at some wares at a weapon stall, an armory from out of town, and there's just a bunch of slag. It's just melted metal chunks, and but this is by the end of the night when you eventually return home or whatever, Millie. You are soaked, you are soot covered, you are exhausted.
Yep, that tracks.
Yeah.
Millie's just gonna when she gets back to the White Deer, she's just gonna slug a brandy and hit the deck.
Let me retcon that. I would like you to roll a D100.
Oh.
And then I'm going to roll a D100.
Oh.
Because there's the potential for something to occur during all of this that may change
15. 1-5.
Okay. So if I roll between a 5 to a 20, then this thing will happen. On a 78, it is not going to happen.
Damn.
So, yeah, so you make it back to on the way to the White Deer, it would be middle of the night. So, you get back, you slug some brandy. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. And when we come back, unless anybody specifically wants to do anything, what I want to do is kind of transition to the next day.
The next day.
Where we see the smoke rising over town and we can figure out, we can assume then that there's been some opportunities for Lumi to do some healing, things like that. So let's go ahead and take a short break. We will see you on the other side.
Ooh, ooh.
It is, we are back. It is a brand new day.
Mm.
It is festival day. It is also a day that finds many buildings still smoldering. The smell of the fires is still strong. Many people spent the night in the open cathedral spaces, the sanctuaries in the Sandpoint Cathedral, with the various attendants of the acolytes of Abadar, Desna, Aristil, Gosray, and Sarenrae, and Shaylin, attending to the various people whether or not they worship those gods, just those attendants that were in those sanctuaries. I would like everybody except Millie to roll me a D100.
Six. Just 6.
94.
Together we make 100.
27.
Yay.
694, 27.
And my browser crashed. So
What?
I'm on my little dinky laptop right now, and everything crashed. So you're lucky that Zoom's still running right now.
Okay. Pick a number between 1 and 100.
69. No.
Nice.
I roll 32.
32. So 32, 6, 94. And was it 27? Whoops, that's the wrong die. Doesn't matter, didn't roll. 62. So it was 694. What did you have, Lumi?
32.
32?
32.
Okay. In addition to people that have been treated for various wounds of varying severities, there is outside. There are some acolytes, one from each of the faiths represented here, that are watching over the covered bodies that were brought and placed on the lawn. And these 7 acolytes have been standing vigil all night and will stand vigil over the 10 people whose lives were lost. As you all wake up, having received a modicum of rest and healing from the resting, Lumi, I think you would notice that at no point, including now as you look around the sanctuaries, have you seen Father Xantus.
Lumi's gonna keep looking. If not in the church, there must be somewhere else in town. I think she'll probably leave the sanctuary behind, running around town.
As you
She
step
bumps
outside
into
the sanctuary,
people.
you do see the acolyte standing watch over the 10 covered bodies.
Yeah.
And you're just going to head into town looking?
Yeah, Lumi does not think that any of those 10 bodies are Father Xantus. So she's going to just head out, take to the streets, and if she sees anyone, be like, "Have you seen Father Xantus anywhere?" And to anyone that would be out and about, any bystanders.
All right. As you're doing that, go ahead and make an investigation roll. Icselo, what did you do after everybody settled in, and what are you doing this morning?
I don't think Icselo stopped. I think I probably would have been engaged with various efforts across the city. I mean, locating people that are missing, getting groups of families back together, organizing the town guard. I think the following morning I'm probably exhausted and reeling from my burns from the night before.
Yeah, I think the more time that progresses and the fewer people that are in need of assistance, as you have more time in between, your adrenaline slowly starts to ease off, and as it does, you become aware of the pain of your injuries. And as you said, the burns and the exhaustion of being up all night. Millie, how late is Millie sleeping? Or are you... Well, how late is Millie sleeping? You got in pretty late.
I mean, she wouldn't like sleep in like I do, because it's Millie.
That's why I said Millie, not Tamiko.
Like, I reckon, like, as soon as it was, as soon as it was morning, like late morning, she's up.
I think as you get up, you smell cooking. Which means Garrett has already gotten up and has started cooking whatever. But as you go into the main tavern, you see that Garrett and his family, they have several baskets that have been set up on tables, and he's cooking large quantities of food, and they're filling jugs with juice and coffee and water. And he just kind of looks up at you and says, I did not want to wake you. I know you were out late, tending to the town. We are joining with some of the other inns and taverns, and we're going to bring this food over to the cathedral.
Millie lays a hand on Garrett's shoulder and says, "What fine work you've done! This looks great, Garrett."
The butter's not salted enough. The bread didn't rise like it was supposed to.
I think people are just going to be thankful to be alive today.
And, yeah, everybody's basically working together to, they're not planning to open for business anytime soon, as they are basically cooking as much food, preparing as much food as possible, and already are starting to, some volunteers are coming and picking up baskets of food and to bring it over to the cathedral. Natalin. How is Natalin doing this day? How does she wake up feeling, and how does she start her day?
Well, I think part of last night when she got back to her feet, and she tried to help with the fires, etc., but I think she wore herself out real quick. And so she made her way to the Rusty Dragon to find out if that was okay and if Bethana was okay. I think it was okay. So I think she would have kind of stumbled into her bed and collapsed and slept in today because she was very tired, very exhausted. She still has that curse where it makes her sleep longer. So I think she doesn't realize it, but she probably doesn't wake up until probably it's getting on close to noon before she kind of stumbles out of bed, feeling slightly refreshed and better than she was before. And noticing how bright the day is and how high the sun is in the sky, she would quickly try to get ready and then go assist Bethana with whatever she can do at this moment at the Rusty Dragon.
I think as you get around and head downstairs, you find a similar but slightly different scene as Bethana is coordinating efforts to also prepare food. There's a few people that the most of the southern part of town along the docks, all of that was untouched. And, you know, ships are still coming in the port and ships are going out of port. And so people are still working. So there is a group of people that are coming in to eat, but nobody's ordering anything. They're just basically Bethana's directing people to select kind of buffet style as they're also preparing lunch baskets of food. And to a person, every dock worker, every other person that comes in to eat in this manner, they leave at least twice what a meal would have cost in a basket on the counter, donating what they can towards the recovery efforts. But you notice that as Bethana is kind of directing things and herself cooking a bit and packing things up, you can see the red of her eyes that she's been crying. And every once in a while she kind of looks around, and you notice that some of the other wait staff here also look like they've been crying. And you notice, I'm not going to make you roll for this, you notice that you see everybody who normally works different shifts here. They're all here, the morning shifts, the evening shifts. But one person is missing. A human woman named Lorna Vexley, who was a server at the Rusty Dragon. She usually worked in the early mornings until midday. And she's nowhere to be found.
I don't think, like, Natalin would not bring this up to Bethana. She wouldn't broach that subject. But looking around at how everybody looks like that they've been grieving or are grieving still, and the quietness, I think she's kind of put two and two together, and she definitely is not going to say anything, but she not really shadows Bethana, but she stays close to her in case Bethana needs support.
I think Bethana very quickly notices your bandages. And
yeah, I think I've tried to cover them with my dress, but I mean, they're probably going all over my neck.
You literally almost got your head ripped off by the Sandpoint devil. So
I'm wearing this turtleneck. No.
I'm fine.
So yeah, like I've got all these bandages across the neck and chest area.
I think her way of fussing about you, though, is to suddenly just be like, oh, and she kind of reaches up, and instead of like touching the bandages, she sees that whoever treated your wounds did a very good job. She just sort of very gingerly, like, just adjusts your clothing a little bit and kind of pats you, and she just says, I'm glad to see you. And she holds back tears again as she looks at everybody else, and she says, if you're feeling up to it and wouldn't mind if you could help take some of all of these baskets here. We're bringing all the food up to the cathedral.
Oh, of course, of course.
And she will set you to work helping to load a wagon that's waiting outside. Velynia, same question.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? How was Velynia with her post near death experience? How does she find herself this morning?
I think Velynia probably took a long time to be able to fall asleep. But once she slept like hard. And she kind of wakes up and there's sun coming in. There's a very, very small window. And I think she kind of like gets up and sits on the edge of the bed for a second, just kind of taking inventory. And then I think she would get up and change her bandages by herself, which she does a fine job. This isn't the first time.
Yeah. Well, you do fine with your bandaging, but it's this moment of, as you undress, pull off your shirt, and you look down and you see where the dagger pierced your chest and went into your heart. And just left of your sternum, above your, on your chest there above your breast, you see an ugly black scar that has tendrils of black that reach just a few centimeters out from it. I should say not scar. I should say wound.
It's like a wound.
Like this.
I think Velynia sees it and is very concerned. I think she would probably like touch it.
It is incredibly painful to the touch. Like when you just barely touch it, it sends pain through your entire body.
And then I think, is there a mirror in here? Like,
sure.
I can't imagine this is like, okay. Velynia would look at it and try to like look more closely at it.
It doesn't look like any kind of infection or anything that you've ever seen. And the closer you look at it, it just looks like the edges of your wound are shadow.
And I think she would take her dagger out one more time, and I think she notices that some blood on it that she didn't get last night, and she goes and like really, really, really gives it a good scrub in like a wash basin before putting it away again. And I think she would kind of like not intentionally not look at herself in the mirror again and not look at the wound again particularly, and she just wraps and wraps and wraps and wraps and wraps her chest up. And then puts her armor back on. And I think she does take a look at herself once it's on, just to make sure she looks like semi-normal.
Well, and as I recall, you were not wearing your armor at the time that you were in town for the show. Correct?
I wasn't, and you said I like had it on mysteriously when I was during.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yes, yeah. When you woke up in the theater, paralyzed, you were fully dressed in your armor. That's right. So yes, there would be a jagged hole in your armor where your blade pierced.
What
kind of armor do you wear again?
Studded leather, I think. I'm pretty sure it's
so then
leather.
Yeah, it's going to be the leather is torn and one or two of the plates, the stud plates in that area have been punctured by this dagger.
And Velynia just kind of like takes a deep breath, and it hurts a little bit. But then she just kind of like tries to walks out, wants to see whatever is who's okay, who's not. She wants to reconvene with the party. And in her head, she's just kind of like already anticipating how she's going to explain her absence to them. Right this second, she doesn't have any good ideas as she leaves her room.
Lumi, what was your investigation?
I'm using perception, I assume. That would be a 26.
Yeah, sorry. Forget there's no investigation in this. A 26?
Yeah, 26.
And Icselo, where did you end up? You were just kind of feeling exhaustion, and I guess we didn't really specify where you were.
I'm probably on my way back to the barracks, which is in the same roughish neighborhood as the cathedral.
Yeah, down the street. As you are approaching the barracks, you see blanked on people's names that I haven't talked about in a million years. You see Sheriff Baylor Hemlock standing on the steps at the front of the barracks, and you see that he's standing there. He's doing his best job, full sheriff posture of trying to calm somebody down who is very shrilly yelling at him. And that's when you get a little bit closer and you see this and recognize the shrill voice as belonging to your ex-wife.
Clarissa.
I almost called her Cassandra. Clarissa, and
nothing quite like my ex-wife berating my boss. This will be great. This will be good for me.
Icselo just hangs back
as
for a
you
second.
see her,
like,
I turn around, leave.
As you see her, Lumi, there's been lots of you asking people, where have you seen Father Xanthus? Have you seen Father Xanthus? And you're getting, it's kind of like we see the static shot of Sandpoint and the road, with Lumi getting further away, running to people, and we just see people in various states of trying to pick up the mess or tending to wounds or whatever, and some of them are shaking their head no, and then some are like pointing, like I think I saw him that way, and then somebody else is pointing this way, and then we see somebody like making other pantomime. As you're kind of closing in around the general vicinity of the meat market, which is right on the edge of the where the marketplace itself is, and that's about the same time that dang it, I've got two names in my head. It's Clarissa.
Clarissa explains it all.
I keep wanting to call her Cassandra for some reason. It's Cassandra Lee, that's why. God, that's in my head. Cassandra
Cracked
Lee.
it.
Yeah, it's a different game. Crossover. Streams are bleeding.
Blood remembers.
Yeah. So actually, Cari, that mnemonic is going to help me. Clarissa knows it all. Clarissa knows it all.
Yeah.
Because Clarissa does know it all. She sees you, Icselo, and she does not hesitate to come running up to you. And what you see is not anger, but fear.
Oh no.
And she's immediately, where is she? Where is she?
She was with me.
She was with you that
my
night.
God.
Yeah, she was with me.
She never came home. And then everything that happened, I can't find her. I can't find her, Icselo. And this is not the Clarissa Scarnetti who gives you shit all the time. This Clarissa is closer to the Clarissa that you fell in love with and married. She's more vulnerable. And she's, for the first time in a long time, she's not berating you or blaming you. She's begging you. She's looking at you with pleading in her eyes.
She should be with the Trennels. I handed her off to them when things were getting bad.
Who are the Trennels?
They're good people. She's safe.
Lumi, as you approach sort of in the vicinity of the meat market, you see that the ruins of the marketplace in particular. All of the market stalls that were damaged. This whole place is just a smoldering ruin. There's a few places here and there where everything has that wet look of a fire that's been put out, so it's now just smoldering, but it's wet ash everywhere. There's a very few structures along the edges that are only partially burned. And you see, I don't know that it necessarily would have looked familiar to you, other than you knew that their stall was in this location nearest to the Sandpoint meat market. But you see a partially burned, overturned wagon with some partially burned produce spilled around it, and you recognize the Trennels wagon. And what was that, Tamiko?
Was that
Right
me?
when you said that, the song started.
Oh,
Yeah, the song.
Look.
The song.
Yep, I didn't touch anything. That is a perfect music cue.
Lumi pauses to
don't say
investigate
that.
the stall. The wagon, is it overturned, you said?
It's overturned, partially burned.
She's gonna try her best and like heave and try and lift up the wagon and check underneath it. She really doesn't want to see
Icselo,
what she fears she might
as
see.
Lumi's struggling to try to push this, Icselo, you remember, as you say, she was with the Trennels. And you remember the last time they were seen was after the show, and they were heading towards their stall to just kind of check on everything for one last time.
That's where I would go.
Lumi, you are struggling to lift or even budge this when you hear footsteps approaching quickly, and Icselo, you come on the scene to see the same scene, and you see already Lumi is there struggling to lift this wagon, and you recognize it as the Trennels wagon, and you see something that Lumi didn't see at first, or maybe she moved some of the ash, but you see the charred, partially burned, charred rucksack of Lara.
Oh no.
Dude, I throw this fucking cart.
The two of you combined, all of a sudden,
I'm
Lumi,
still like holding onto the wagon as like it just overturns. I'm like,
you suddenly, just with that superhuman strength, you push, well, superhuman and super kobold strength, you push the cart aside, and you see Father Xantus lying on the ground, and he is completely covered, and you can just see Lyra's hair as he is shielding her. His robes are burned. You can see blistered skin. And as the wagon lifts off, you hear... and you see him turn and look. And you see, from shielded completely from any harm, you see Lyra turn, look up, and go, Dad?
Oh.
Mom? And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my god.
You didn't think I was going to kill them, did you?
Well,
I
didn't think you
actually
were
thought
gonna kill
the
Lyra.
Trennels- well, I thought that some of the Trennels were dead.
It's
Well,
so
they might still
hard.
be.
It's so
I know,
hard
so
to move the pieces around sometimes, or challenging, I should say, to get those sort of cinematic moments, to get things together.
I'm
Xanthus,
expecting one of the Trennel adults being dead.
the whole time Xanthus had gone out into the town, and the D100 rolls were to see if on your individual efforts, if anybody ran into him or heard specifically. That's why I had you roll, Millie. There was a chance you would have discovered Father Xanthus like almost immediately after this happened. Wow. And you now know at least one of the 10 dead. Our next session,
God,
we'll
damn
figure it out.
We'll
Because
figure it out.
there's the Festival of Stardust, which is going to also be a memorial service. And we'll figure out how do we move on from here as you move into welcome to chapter 5,
Yay,
Shadows at Midnight. 2 characters came extremely close to dying. And I kept you guys, pulling you guys along, wondering whether or not I had killed anybody else beloved.
Man.
For those watching and might be curious, I did make the players roll to determine randomly who was affected when we in-game had determined that 10 people had died. And there were a chance that some beloved characters, NPCs, may have fallen, and there still is, because there's others in the mix. So,
Man.
how's everybody feeling?
Wow. Wow.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
What a
Welcome
great
back to
way to
7
kick off
Dooms
chapter
for
5.
Sandpoint.
Welcome
Yeah,
back to
no
5
kidding.
Dooms for Sandpoint.
I mean, if we're in
Yeah.
a chapter called Shadows at Midnight, it's not exactly going to be a romp. I think we can all predict that. So
you still got 5 Dooms to contend with, and you all did, in case it was forgotten over the break. I know you players didn't forget, but you all leveled up too.
Mhm.
So the characters are now all officially level 7. Yeah.
wow, awesome.
All right. Well,
Awesome
thank you.
stuff, guys.
Thank you, everybody who... actually, I'm just realizing I shorted you.
Oh.
I only got one of the gift subs that was given out, so I owe you a domain die. I did not see the gift sub to the lunchbox, so I always check that afterwards. So thank you to everybody who subbed, resubbed, gifting subs, all that kind of stuff. And thank you for everybody hanging out in the chat. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be back with everybody. And I'm glad everybody survived this time. So a little bit of a reprieve, perhaps, as we prepare for moving into this new chapter and what could bring while 5 dooms remain in Sandpoint. Also, I just want to say thank you to anybody who might like to lurk quietly, or maybe you're watching with us on the VOD. Know that we appreciate you and hope you enjoy watching our shows as much as we enjoy playing these games. And finally, a huge thank you to all of these incredible friends and players. Thank you, Vi, Kaeryn, Tamiko, Cari, and Baron, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. You can say it with me if you want. MTD.
MTD.